Welcome everybody to Church Insider. This is episode 10, part 2. In this episode, I'd just like to review a few things about the interview with Aiden. So it wasn't really an interview like my normal interviews aren't. I went over Level Tech products for most of the things, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. But as you probably can tell, this probably sounds a little bit different. Because it's very empty in here as we are redoing. And so the new studio will be coming somewhat soon, but as of right now, it's got a very echoing sound. So you might have to get used to that for probably the next episode and possibly one after that. But that's not a huge deal, of course. So what I'd like to talk about is my book. So I've been working on my book and I'm on chapter 6. And you know, it's going very good, but Aiden, as he said, you know, he's like 3 months, which I'd never thought of that ever. But it could happen. It definitely could. Stranger things have definitely happened. And I haven't talked to Israel about, you know, him even thinking about surrendering, nothing of that, because he's been sick this past week. So, you know, I don't really know what he is thinking, but I do know that Level Tech is becoming a big thing, and so is the government. So, you know, I don't really know if the Gold Wars have time in that mix. They might. Who knows? I don't know. But people are going to be getting their positions at Level Tech very, very soon, which is very crucial to possibly the end, possibly peace. I'm not exactly sure. But when that does happen, a few weeks after that, my book will come out. Of course, my website, as always, check that out. But laws and stuff is coming along very nicely. I've made a lot of different forms. Very cool stuff. People are already talking about loan applications for the upgrade program, which costs 25,000 CC a year. And that gets insane stuff. So a lot of people, Aiden is looking at that, and Israel are both looking at that and their Level Tech members. Micah is not looking at that because he doesn't want to get loans. So, you know, whether I believe in them or not doesn't really play a factor, but they are most likely going to be taking them out through Level Tech, which is very cool. So we'll be providing a lower interest rate for our employees. So all that's happening, but the Gold Wars, really, that's been the story. They've been on hold. We have not sat down and discussed them, so, you know, possibly this coming Sunday, we could sit down and discuss them. If we do, if I call a meeting, I will definitely voice record it. It really depends if everybody's there or if most people are there and where the week takes us. Sometimes right early off, we get a direction. Somebody will say something and that's what we're on the entire time. Other times, not so much. So I think it really depends on how the week starts off. Which is usually what happens. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because right now Level Tech is gonna start off with more money than everybody else. So I hope people don't get mad at that. In Israel, you know, he's losing money here and there for various trials, so he's not really gonna have much. So he's gonna obviously try to get a higher position, possibly president of Level Tech. But Aiden is going for that right now. I don't know about Israel, like I said, I haven't talked to him because he's been sick. So that it could definitely change things in position-wise. But there's a lot of positions available, so everybody will get a chance. Somebody's gonna have a job. But they've been talking about possibly starting their own business. So I don't really like that idea, but I might have to like the idea or at least let them do it. Because, you know, they need their own freedom inside the business limits. So all that, there's a lot of stuff there. So really it depends on what the week is going to hold, but you saw Aiden for the first time, maybe not, but he's first time on Church Insider, and I think he did a good job. He didn't get Vice, which was very disappointing for him. So I think that's part of the reason why he's going for president. I really do. I don't know if he's the best for the job. I don't know if Israel's the best for the job. I don't know who's the best for the job, honestly. Micah seems to be on top of things, but he's not even going for it. You know, he doesn't want that. He's already Chief Justice, and it's completely fine. I'm completely fine with that. I think it really depends at this point who's going to get president. I mean, of course, I'm CEO/owner. But we have a whole development team who are developing the products. As I said last time, we released a technology line, but we are working on so much more than just that. Tons of other everyday household products we're going to have. So it's going to be big. Of course, my book, store and everything, Spontaneous, when it comes back, when the Gold Wars end, when it comes back, that'll be definitely happening, which is huge. So possibly be able to buy that with CC. A lot of different developments that could or may not happen. It really, really depends how quickly the Gold Wars end. And if we start another one, of course, which people haven't really talked about, but it could easily happen. You know, we went straight from the end of World War I to World War II. I mean, immediately. Like, next week we're in. This, I don't know. You know, people haven't really talked about a World War III. They haven't. I haven't really thought about it a ton, honestly. But it could definitely happen. But I think tension would need to build again, and right now there's none. Everybody's seems to be getting along, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's bad, but it doesn't provoke war at all. I've had the gold for pretty much the entire Gold War II. Not just Gold War II continued, but also the first one I had it for most of the time too. So the Alpha team has really capitalized on that. So it really hasn't been anything because people actually have not asked for clues in a long time, which is very surprising. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it's because of elections and stuff taking over all that. So as soon as they ask for clues, I can give them their next clue. Otherwise, right now we're on hold, essentially, which is not like weird for the Gold Wars, but this is a pretty big break. It's been a long, long break. So I don't know if this will be the end. If it was a long break and then all of a sudden we're done, or if it was a long break and then something will happen and spike up again. But nobody's talked about surrendering. And I think that's the real thing that's keeping the war going on. Nobody wants to actually surrender. Nobody likes to lose, of course. I mean, and I'm not just gonna give up. I don't think at this point I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, let's have peace. You know, everybody wins, or nobody wins. It's just a tie. You know, at this point I'm not in that situation at all. So they would have to surrender. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep you guys updated, but the studio is coming, which I'm really happy for because right now this place echoes. And possibly new lighting systems. I have a new lighting system here with me, but we're getting more, so you should be able to tell the difference there. But other than that, just stay tuned to the next video. It won't be live from church. It'll be here. So thank you guys. This concludes episode 10, which this is the end. This is it. Celebrating episode 10, part 2.